Welcome to the UDP broadcast, a podcast where a group of friends get together and talk about gaming-related topics and offer both informed and uninformed opinions. I'm your host, Luminary, and I'm accompanied today by my co-host, the Nordic Cajun.
Ooh, wow for the banana.
What?
Look at
I
the chat.
like how that fits with your little animation. Because
Oh,
when
yes.
you said banana, you just like reached out for it. I was like, oh.
That is my favorite animation because it's said with such enthusiasm, and you've got the striking lines in there, so it all has meaning. Speaking of lines, we have with us the eternal barcode, Imi.
Hello, everybody.
And
I'm on the internet.
from the Emerald Dream and PowerPoint Hell, Reina, the Crit Chicken.
Yeah, I can relate to my little animated character too, because I've been just spazzing out after I got out of that.
We're glad to have you here. Episode
She's
9.
still facing away from us.
Oh, crap.
I want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk to you guys. Just leave me alone.
I didn't even see that. Hold on. Either way, while I fix Crit, let me, Imi has words for us.
I do. 10% of all the revenue that comes in through the show goes directly to the Trevor Project, and the Trevor Project is one of my favoriteest charities. And our wonderful mascot, Ping, has
the
more
Trevor
info.
Project is the leading organization working to end LGBTQ youth suicide in the US and beyond. The non-profit operates several programs to help prevent and respond to the public health crisis of LGBTQ youth suicide, including 24/7 free crisis services, research, advocacy, education, and peer support.
Thank you, Ping. And as always, this is an opinion show. We have opinions just like you do, and it does not reflect the stances of any organization that may employ us. In other words, we're poor, don't sue us, and sit back and have some fun.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Contest.
God forbid you try and come after me, I will eat your bandwidth.
There we go.
Starting with your gateway devices and going in from there, and you will be fucked. I will eat it all.
Very
You
on
didn't
brand for a
mind.
podcast with networking name.
I approached you and you married me. How dare.
Yeah, but see, you're awesome. Anybody coming after me to sue me because I voiced an opinion, they're not going to have much bandwidth left by the time I'm done with them.
Oh, they're going to look at the channel and
Eat
send
it
it
all.
straight to me. You should be safe over there in Maple Leaf Land. So, okay, episode 96. Let's get this show on the road. I called it Lava Chicken because apparently, we'll get to that in a minute. But right now, there is a story out that I happened to catch earlier this week before I saw the article because I'm a YouTube whore.
Feel that.
Yeah.
You said it yourself.
Yeah, I did. DrLupo, advocate of anti-cheat and calling out cheaters in games like Escape from Tarkov and other things. Like his commentary is hilarious, of course. Got caught cheating in a chess.com
Loser.
tournament.
Loser.
Wait, hold on. Let me
You
wrap
heard
my
that right.
brain around this. Hang on. He advocates for not cheating, calling
Correct.
cheaters out, and making them look bad for views on YouTube.
Yeah, let's
And
just.
then he gets caught cheating in a virtual chess game.
Oh, not only was it a
Yes,
virtual
it was-
chess game, it was a virtual chess game for charity. It has $100,000
Like
at stake.
psychological deflection while also trying to play the good guy. Gotcha.
Yes.
Like,
Absolute shit show.
That
I
deserved
guess you
that.
can really
That
call
deserved
that a mind game.
it. Yeah.
Well, apparently they kind of tuned into that fact because all of a sudden because he's ranked like really low, and I don't remember what the number is. PC Gamer has the actual number, but apparently he took on somebody double his rating on chess.com and just raked him over the coals. And nobody could figure out why. And they're like, oh, well, obviously he probably has a cheat engine up on his other screen. And somebody else had called that out during this whole debacle. They're like, why does he keep looking over at his other screen? So, yeah. He was making moves either by mechanical means.
Well, there's two things. There's two things going on. One, he had a cheat, like a chess bot open. that was basically he was plugging in the positions of the pieces,
Mhm.
and it was suggesting the best moves. And also, he was looking at chat, which people would be saying, "Hey, why doesn't he do this? This would be a much better move." And he was like, yes, don't mind if I do."
Yeah, I don't read chat. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, when you're that much of an idiot, you're a loser at that point.
It's
You
gonna
play
be
stupid games, you win stupid prize.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting to see how his career goes as the anti-cheat Avenger after he
Hopefully right into the shitter where he belongs with that bullshit.
maybe or
Anti-cheat Avenger, I like that.
well, I mean, the other part is that he embodies the villain role and is like, nope, I'm a cheater. So who knows?
He,
I'm
I'm the
it's,
cheater now.
he's pulling a John Cena. He's going to his heel phase.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I've consumed a lot of content on YouTube with people who would cheat on stream and accidentally reveal their cheats and whatnot and get called out. Like there's a whole bunch of them.
Those are funny videos to watch.
Yeah, I think the one that sticks in my mind the most is where Clara was responsible for all of the aimbot stuff that was in. I forgot the YouTuber's name because it just wasn't that important. But yeah, no, she had hit her cheats and pulled the cheat window over onto the screen where the stream could see it. And people were like,
Yep.
God damn it. If you're going to cheat, don't be that goddamn obvious.
No, man, I can't think of any game that I would even remotely think about wanting to try to cheat in, except maybe like Balatro, and that's a one-player game.
right, at that point
So-
you're cheating
No.
yourself.
Yeah, then at the fast point, the big numbers don't mean less than they already do. I need to earn the big numbers.
That's right.
So,
the fact that-
admittedly, when I was younger and dumber, I did cheat at 2 games. One because I was very curious how cheat programs worked, and that was Unreal Tournament 2003. That's going way back there.
Ooh.
However, it became very evident that it was a lot easier just to aim at people than it was to let the bot aim. So I was like, okay, well, this is dumb. That was number 1. Number 2 was if anyone has ever heard of the game Soldier Fortune or Soldier Fortune 2, those were really, really good games. And I actually did play SOF 2 a long time ago on stream,
Mhm.
just the single player mode before we started the game, the show. And it was one of the first games that actually implemented like mechanics for the bots, where if you shot them in the leg, they would hold their leg and limp away, trying to get to cover before they would re-engage and stuff like that. Some random company, I don't remember who it was, made Soldier Fortune 3. Now, this is back in the day when everything was being made for Xbox and then being ported from Xbox to PC. And the game was so bad, they gave you a 50 caliber anti-material rifle, and it's not a sniper rifle, it's an anti-material rifle. It's meant for vehicles or the
Anti-cheat
clothing you're
rifle.
wearing. The fact that you happen to be inside the clothing is irrelevant because that's material. Anyways, they give you a sniper rifle, an anti-material rifle with a 20 times scope, but things would never spawn more than about 20 to 50 meters in front of you, making it impossible to use that rifle because the game was designed to be on an Xbox that had no draw distance. So they had multiplayer and they didn't have Punk Buster. I wanted to see how bad the cheating was. Oh, it was awful. It was awful. I felt
I have
bad.
a confession.
Yes.
Oh,
So I cheated once in my life.
Uh-oh.
It was during elementary school, during Heads Up 7 Up.
Oh.
I would look down at the floor and see people's shoes, and then look up at the front of the class and actually pick out who put my thumb down.
I mean, that's funny.
And they're like,
That
"How do
just
you know?" I'm like, "I just a guess." You picked
magic.
from the wrong way.
I'm really good at this.
I like that we're confessing our deepest, darkest sins of cheating. So if anybody ever were to come after us and be like, hey, you cheated! Well, yeah, years ago. I even
was
admitted to
proud
it,
of that
loser.
moment. And that was just in the sense of I was an elementary school student, but now my have to obey authority. I'm like, I cannot.
Yeah. Like today, I wouldn't ever consider it because it's not worth it because it damages the game for everybody around you.
I just want to have
But
fun.
I like one of the comments about this dude's cheating. It went from "What's a donkey?" to "I can see 15 moves ahead." Like, oof.
Yeah.
What's a donkey? Oh look, I can see time and space.
Yeah.
That's apparently what it was really like. It was just that blatantly obvious of a bunch of cheating, which
Yeah.
is really funny and sad at the same time.
I guess you can say he became the pawn.
Yeah.
She's on a roll
Checkmate.
tonight. Oh, God.
Indeed.
All right. Well, I'm going to be hammed. I need to go get a refill.
But it
Mhm.
wasn't even a pun. It was just a joke.
No,
Why
that's
do
a
you
pun.
miss? Oh.
Why are you so mad?
He's
Why you
only
have to be mad? He's only game. Fuck. Out of all the hockey player bullshit I've ever heard in my life, that is probably the funniest line I've ever heard Bobrovsky say ever in his entire career. And for any hockey player to be like, I'm just going to troll you a little bit now, and good luck.
Well, at least that's one way to get people to watch something hockey related.
Yeah.
This is true. This is very true.
I like going
Unless
watch
you're
hockey.
Canadian, in which case, get out of the way. I'm watching hockey. Dear, come to
Also,
bed. It's our anniversary. Now there's a hockey game on.
speaking of strategy and games and hockey and stuff like that, I'm so glad that the Bolts have lost. Yay. Go
Wah,
Panthers.
wah.
The only hockey game I ever went to was the Ice Bats in Austin.
The
Ice
what?
Bats.
The Ice Bats.
What the fuck is an ice bat?
Hey, we had
It's a good spot.
we used to have the Ice Gators down here in Louisiana.
Yeah. You see, we have to preface it with ice to understand that it's a hockey team, right? So
Exactly, because
Eh.
down here, like, what the heck is ice?
well, I mean, it's
Oh, but the thing is about like gators and I guess crocodiles, if they actually get submerged in ice, they hibernate. So what were they specialized in sleeping on the ice or whatever?
Yes, it
What's
was
their wind
called they
ratio?
wanted to get onto the links faster.
What was their
You can
wind
get
ratio,
golfing.
or just did they sleep on it?
Well,
I don't know. I figured they just wanted to get out golfing.
Yay.
Why would I want to do
Sorry.
more hockey in June? I can go
Sorry for
golfing.
derailing.
well,
I mean, it's half the show is derailing. It's all good.
no, we follow the rabbits when they come around. We chase them.
yep, we do what we want here.
Hell yeah.
Going off the rails on a critty train?
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Let's see here.
You weren't waiting for that. You didn't even see that coming.
I did actually.
What else can we get into?
Take two.
I'll let you run with this because I don't even have that one up. I'll comment on it. Go for it.
It's not even something I saw on the bot or anything. It's just so for those of you who don't know, Take Two Interactive owns the Borderlands series. Borderlands 4 is on the way. They recently had some sort of a tournament or something that went on, some event, and they decided, like a lot of companies, to update their privacy policy, which is normal because, you know, maybe there's new court cases have come out that have changed how privacy has to be followed and yada yada. So you have to update it and make sure it's good to go. However, Take Two has decided to go full-blown moron. Now, in some contexts, I can see where things are and how it's okay. But the long and short of it is they want a lot more information than they used to ask for. Like a significant amount. So standard things they want that they'll collect is identifiers or contact information. So if you make an account for support or to buy something on their store, they're going to get your name, address, telephone number, postal code, or zip code, any unique IDs from your browser or mobile device, platform IDs if you're on like a console, gaming service ID if you're using Steam or Xbox Live or PlayStation Network, advertising IDs, that's all normal. That's cool. Protected characteristics like your age and gender. Age because in the US you have to be over 13 years of age. Doesn't matter if you're coming from a different country. The US, they're not allowed to process data from anyone under the age of 13, so they have to know your age. Gender, what? Huh? Okay. I don't remember if that was on there before. I really can't remember. Commercial information such as your purchase history and preferences, including gameplay information. That's normal. Billing information, obviously normal, because if you're going to buy something, they need to know who they're billing. Internet and electronic activity.
What?
So web/app browsing and gameplay information related to the services. So
They want your browser history? Hold up.
yeah, so they want your web or app browsing history when it is related to their services. So if you're on their website, it sounds bad. But when you're on their website, they want to know where on the website you are, for how long you are, what are you clicking, what are you using. That, although sketchy sounding, but that whole part of the sentence makes sense. They need to know what areas people are the most interested in because they need to, make sure they're being marketed correctly. So also they want information about your online interactions with the service. So, or their advertising. So on their website, did you click any advertising links? Okay, that's normal. How did you interact with the service? Did you log in through the website, through an app, or whatever else? That makes sense. Details about the games and platforms you use, and other information related to installed applications. Now, that last part, so the first part of that, details about games and platforms you use. Why? Now, are you talking games that you provide or games in general? Because you have no business knowing what other games I play. I could play, this just inspires me to install, make a new profile on Steam filled with, tentacle porn games and start using their games under that tentacle porn user just to skew with metrics on a virtual machine, of course. So why the hell do you want to know what's installed? You don't have a reason to. And then other information related to installed applications. What the fuck does that mean? That is awful. You have no business scanning my entire PC to know what software I have. I have hex editors. I have disassemblers. I have antivirus tools. I have lots of games. I have lots of stuff installed on my machine. You have no business knowing anything beyond what Take-Two games I have installed. That I could understand. Beyond that, fuck all the way off. Their device and usage type, that's kind of normal. So that's type, software, and hardware and details. So what OS version are you running? What kind of hardware are you running? Language settings, so they know who their most, frequent flyers are, type thing. Browser type, so whatever in the version, that's all normal. Operating system. And information about how users use and interact with the service, e.g., or for example, which is e.g., content viewed, pages visited, clicks, and scrolls. That's normal. The software and hardware details still kind of tweaks me the wrong way, because what software are you specifically looking at? Profile inferences. So an inference is, I see that you're looking at ducks. I see you're looking at, eagles and other flying things. I can infer beyond that, or from that you like birds or flying things.
Sure.
So they want to get inferences from your information and web activity, to help create a personalized profile so they can identify goods and services that may be of interest. That's kind of normal. That involves tracking cookies. We're all familiar with those. If you're not, that's basically cookies that persist between sessions and between web pages that log everything and like anything you do online. That has become the normal and nobody likes it. Audio-visual information. This one kind of pissed me off. Account photos, okay. They kind of need to know if you've got a swastika on your account photo.
Fair.
Understandable. Images. What images? And from what source?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. Avatars. Okay. Yeah, if you're going to have an avatar on, say, like the forums, probably shouldn't have a swastika.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should. So that's okay. Audio information via chat features and functionality. Why the fuck are you listening to my audio? Please explain that in great detail, why you're listening to me using audio chat through the game. And gameplay recordings and video footage, such as when you participate in playtesting. So that part's okay. Gameplay recordings and video footage when you're participating in playtesting, I understand that. That makes sense because they need to know, how did you actually get through the ground and into the loot chest. I understand that. Sensitive information, such as precise location information, if you allow the servers to collect your location. Thankfully, they're inferring that you can turn that off and they won't collect it. Account credentials, username or password. Well, yeah, that's an obvious given. If you're going to log into their website, they have to know if you've got the right username and password to log in, so that's normal. And content and communication via chat features and functionality. So that, to me, typically, features and functionality typically means to me if you're contacting support, but it's insanely vague. Are you collecting information when you use text chat in the game to talk to other people? Or are you just, doing stuff on the forums relating to that to the forums or to support? So there's a lot of stuff in here that I don't like. Listening to people's audio pisses me right off. Scanning my computer to see what all installed applications are, that pisses me off. I understand you might be trying to do it under the guise of, oh, we want to make sure you don't have cheats. Dude, I have memory editors on my game on my computer for all kinds of reasons. I like to figure out how games work or how applications work, so I tear them apart. Fuck you. You have no business knowing that. Piss right off. So I'm wondering how long it's going to be until there's enough of an outrage before this gets fixed, or at least properly explained.
The voice recording one, assuming it's just for when you're in game, I think that's going to be the big deciding factor here, as far as my opinion on it. But I know that there's a big push right now for AI moderating, so chances are it's pushed through an AI engine to determine if you're being toxic or not. So probably getting some sort of sentiment value.
That's okay. So if you're going to do that, that's okay, but spell it out explicitly, because right now, that's not what it sounds like. The only other thing I can think of is apparently this was first released at the event that they had not too long ago, this new updated privacy policy. The only thing I can think of is if this relates to tournaments or events where they can capture people playing the game at these events and be like, look how much fun this person was having. And then they could be playing an audio clip or a visual clip of this person playing and sync it with their voice audio and say, look, this person's having fun. And meanwhile, the person's jumping around saying, wow, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I understand that, but you have to spell it out. And if you're going to do it through AI moderation, you have to spell it out, because right now, what legal reason do you have to do this? You have not identified exactly why you're collecting this information, and it looks like you're doing it just for the sake of collecting it, which then makes me ask, who the fuck are you selling this information to? Because if I start talking about cats and you're recording that, and then you decide to link an inferred interest of cats with my account, and you send me advertising all the time for fucking cats across multiple platforms, I will be incensed. So I think they need to really look at what they've written and rewrite it so that it actually makes sense and does not come across as a blatant privacy violation. Because I'm pretty sure the GDPR is not going to allow this, and they are subject to the general, what was it, GDPR is General Data Protection something or other rule?
Man, it's pretty hefty too, because I have to deal with that.
It is. General Data Protection Regulation, that's what it is.
What's that, Crit?
It seems like a few things are going wrong in the gaming universe right now.
Yeah.
Between Microsoft upping the price on the Xbox and now GTA 6 being pushed off until 2026.
The game's never coming out.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Half-Life 3 before GTA 6.
Well, they did say that about Silksong, but it actually has a release date now. So
Yeah, well, thank God for that, because I need more platforming in my life. I've been sitting here watching the freaking Shovel Knight trailers for the last 10 minutes.
They just need to take World of Warcraft and just make it into a GTA universe. That's it. Just make it simple.
Could you imagine a gnome rolling by on his little mecha mount and just it gets jumped by 6 orcs and taurens on their mounts, and they just
or Grelkins.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be awesome.
let's see here.
It's why does that Grelkin sound like Zim?
That'd be awesome.
So the French president had called out and given kudos to the team who produced Clear Obscure Expedition 33. Have any of you had time or had the opportunity to either watch or play that game?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
I'm here to tell you that
Def-
it's probably going to get Game of the Year. I've seen nothing like it. There's so much stuff done there that is out of the norm for your triple capitalism institutions that it really stood apart. Like it sold over 1 million copies in the first 10 days. So like it's really good. Very stylized. It's very French for sure. Yeah.
Vraiment
Han Han.
français?
What's that,
S'il
Craig?
vous plaît.
Said Han Han.
Yes.
On. Oh no.
Han. So, but yeah, no, like it's a really good game. It is
Apologies to our French listeners.
a perfect example of like what a turn-based combat system should look like. And it's very stylized like you would see in the Persona series. It is an absolute gorgeous game. The sound design is on point. The voice acting, this game had my heart in a knot within the first 30 minutes. Like they did a really good job with this game. And this is just coming from me. I haven't played it since its first release day. I played it because I was on Jalen's server for hours grinding through that. And it was a lot of fun. Between the parry mechanics, the magic system, the ability system, progression, absolutely phenomenal. They did a really good job on this game. And I think it's interesting that, because the same French president was actually, had like an anti-gaming, what was it? I see here's an anti-gaming sentiment going on because he believes that children are highly susceptible to this, and it had to deal with an uprising somewhere, and he felt that the video game industry or the video games were influencing this behavior. But he's also said,
Oh my God.
let's see here, 1 million copies, and this is what he said. The guy's name is Macron, I believe is his last name. 1 million copies.
Macron.
Yes, as I pronounced it. 1 million copies to date. One of the best rated games in history, and yes, it's French. Congratulations to Sandfall Interactive and all the creators of Expedition 33. You're a shining example of French audacity and creativity. And there's a lot of things going on. Like, this game is definitely on the indie side. It was only created by 30 people, and they were all ex-Ubisoft devs. So, yeah, no, like, really good job. I really wanted to take a time and talk about it. Go ahead.
I guess that's finally a game that people in Quebec can actually play.
Oh,
But they'll still
we're gonna make our
get
Quebec
mad.
listeners Angies.
It's all in
I
good
wouldn't
fun.
do that.
I'll send
I
it.
would never anger the French.
I'll send a clip over to my buddy Drakaden. So.
I mean, you can.
So let's see here. Anything else? Any questions on Expedition 33 before we move on? I don't think so.
Other than I have
Or
to go
none.
research it. No.
Right?
It-
That's the French word for no, none,
No.
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 Croissant. Anyway,
God damn it.
It wasn't me this time. The Cajun wasn't here butchering the language. It wasn't me. I am innocent.
We also know that Bethesda has pushed out the Oblivion remaster, and they did something really cool. They took and gave keys to the Skyblivion team, which is the modder team that is making Oblivion in Skyrim. And was saying, no, you're doing a great job. Like, hey, do more of this. This is we are happy that you're doing this, right?
Because modding keeps games alive,
It
folks.
does.
Yeah, I think what you're doing is very special, I believe, is the comment on that. And we've talked about modding here so often and how it extends the lifetime of a game. And like once the fun is done, now you can make it even more fun with Thomas the Tank Engine and Randy Savage Dragons. Like, you know, it's a thing, right? Yeah. Snap into a Dovahkiin.
No, I actually have a soundbite for that. But I
Imagine
don't know
if
if
you're
his
actually,
estate would be angry with us.
Imagine if you actually aggro one of those dragonkin and stuff like that, and all you can, or they say is like, "Oh yeah."
Over and over, they just start coming at you, and then they scream.
Time to step into the squared circle, son.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll send you the donkey video on his Skyrim modding adventure, and it
I've
gives you
seen
all
that.
of that.
Oh
It
my
is so great.
god.
So let's see here. What else
Blown
we
away.
got going on here? I can't see chat. Anything going on here?
Yeah, any big company or small who's against modding, they don't want their game to last. That's how I've always seen it.
Well, and that's a good point because a lot of companies, and I would never blame devs. I will always blame rights holders, and that's typically
Yep.
publishers.
Yeah.
They don't understand their own communities, and they don't understand what modding does. And unfortunately,
Or,
there's a
like-
lot of old people in the industry who still believe that if you're modding a game, you're stealing intellectual property and you're stealing revenue from the developer.
Nintendo.
Or kind of like Game Workshop, right? With the
Games
the
Workspace, yes.
yeah.
Here in the same line, there was here. Let me see where this actually came from. Ex-Call of Duty producer takes his old employer to task for prioritizing FOMO over quality. I believe the quote was, "Be more like Larry and less like Activision."
Nice.
That also came through.
I mean,
PC
nobody
Gamer.
likes Activision at this point.
Right.
No.
I mean, I'm biased.
Which way?
So
Well,
I still consider Blizzard separate from Activision,
Oh,
even though it is owned by Microsoft at this point.
Activision just it's fallen from grace many times. Recovered.
I'm pretty sure this is how board meetings sound like at Activision headquarters.
Yes.
Well, if you take
Absolutely.
into it, I don't know if you guys ever played any Call of Duty. I've seen a Call of Duty. I don't ever play it because I'm not a fan of competitive shooters. Or
I like the
people.
zombie modes.
Yeah, I've seen
Zombie
zombies.
modes are
Zombies
fun.
looks good too. But they're not kidding when they say like those type of industries at that particular point did prioritize how can we, instead of giving you a quality piece of art, right? Like take Baldur's Gate 3 for example. That is a quality piece of art, right?
Yes.
They prioritize the story, the immersion, sound design, like they prioritize the game. But a lot of AAA industries, not just limited to Call of Duty is just one of the more extreme examples, focus more on how much money they can take out of your wallet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's,
Yep.
that's kind of, that's,
I would 100% agree with that sentiment. They just don't know how to be around kids, or not kids, but like consumers these days.
well, right now we have a standard across all of our media consumption, which does have effect on your children. Like, for example, I don't watch ads, right? I either buy the ability to not get them, or I just don't use the applications that push them. Yeah, right. So that's fair. That is a consumer choice. That's the one I have. But when it comes to children, though, and I'll take my kids for example. You know, they're going around, and this is before I got YouTube Premium Family, so that way they can get no ads anywhere else. They're constantly bombarded by spend money here, like this is what you need to do. Here's a bonus pack that will give you X things, and it'll help you throughout your journey. Then of course you've got time specials. There's the FOMO, things like that. And I remember hearing about it a lot. Before I actually drilled it in their head, is that if you have to spend money on the game after you got it, it's probably not worth spending your time in. And this is on top of like they go through mobile games like candy anyway. It's like they pick it up, they'll play it, and then they'll be like, we're gonna move on to the next big thing. Same thing, just like you would with Roblox. Roblox also has a lot of FOMO, but it's by the Roblox game developers, not Roblox, the platform developer. So, what was that, Crit?
or Pokemon Go, because I've spent some money on Pokeballs in that game, but I don't play it as much because since they sold it off to Scopely, which is the people that are the money hungry people for Monopoly Go, I'm just like, nah, I don't think I want to pay to win stuff anymore.
At that point, they should have just
No,
sold it to NetEase. I mean, they at least have that down. Look what they did with Diablo Immortal. So,
mhm.
Yeah,
Me moral.
gross.
yeah, Diablo Immortal.
Anyway, on the quip from he said about Roblox, I'll be proud to say that Harrison hasn't touched Roblox in like 2 months.
Oh man, I really wish my youngest would not touch Roblox.
He was addicted to that One Piece game, Fruit Blocks, for the longest time because he's a big anime fan like me, and he's been trying to catch up on One Piece because my brother keeps hounding him about it. Like, how do
Mhm.
you know all this, but you haven't watched the show? So he'll watch the show on the side while he's playing games.
It's like
And he was
when my kid he came up to me and was like, "Look, Lumi, you got to check out this game. Look, check this out. So you've got here, and you get powers, and they're called quirks, and you use them, and you battle against other people with quirks." And I was like, "This is My Hero Academia." And he goes, "Yeah, how'd you know?" And I'm like, "Because the anime is much better than what I'm seeing here." He
yeah,
was just like,
yeah,
Get
absolutely, absolutely.
wrecked.
And that's what I told him about Fruit Blocks. Like, there's gonna come a day where you're just not gonna be interested anymore. Like, oh, I love this game. I'll play it forever.
"Yep."
And
Uh-huh.
about 4 months ago, we discovered Mario Party, and that began eating up all of his time. And recently, he wanted to get into Smash Brothers, so that's what we've been playing the past couple days. And he's learning real quick how much he has to learn against his old dad.
Oh yeah, you've probably played
But he
Smash
has
Brothers since like Nintendo 64. So
he wanted to learn real quick why I like Sonic in that game. I get when I was done with him. So yeah, it's a breath of fresh air to see him moving away from that, and he's getting more into the creative side of it. Like, he's already started researching to make his own things. He's back into Minecraft, creating stuff in that. I for all task intensive purposes, disclaimers here. We found a tutorial on how to open his 3DS that he has um, to its fullest capabilities now that Nintendo shut everything down on it.
mhm.
And he was playing games on tickled pink at tinkering with things. On top of getting into the hobby with me of Gunpla. For those of you who don't know what that is Gundam little miniature figures that you put together. It's a big, big side hobby for any kind of enthusiast who used to play with Legos when they were a kid.
Oh,
And I picked one up one day, and I was like, you know what? I've been dying to try one of these. I'm just gonna do it. So I sat down, put together. He's over there playing with his games and toys. Like, Dad, what you doing? Like, I'm building a robot. "Yeah, oh, can I see? Like, yeah, come see. He watched me build that thing. He saw how cool it looked when it was finished. And he looked at me with, like, if he was an anime character, you would have seen the stars in his eyes the way he looked at me after this thing was created. And we have now created 6 since then.
Aw.
That's
He
awesome.
I'll send you guys a picture of it later. But on my shelf behind me, I have 3 of them, and he has the other two on his desk and one in his mom's house.
nice.
So he's hooked, and I'm all for it because, like I said, he's when he used to get Lego sets, that was his whole personality for the day. Nothing else of that Lego set was done. This Gunpla thing is the same exact way. Like, he
I'm
had
that way
one.
with Lego still, and I'm 960 some odd, and I forget and can't do math.
Yeah, it just, like, when it triggers the right dopamine or serotonin or whatever good feeling drug in the brain when you start on little things like that,
Oh yeah.
and then when you have somebody that you love get just as excited and want more like you, it takes it to a new level. We both walk into the store and we see the big one on the shelf, and we're like, one day we're going to get that one.
One
Not
day.
Man,
today.
I would
Or
like the Millennium Falcon or the Death Star, but they're over $1,000 a piece.
I've got the
Oh
Millennium
yeah.
Falcon sitting in the house, and it has yet to be built because the oldest decided he'd rather play games with his friends. So,
You should send it my way. I will happily take it off your hands.
no,
I'm saying.
he's slowly piecing together. It's only been 3 years, and he's only gotten through the first like masterwork box. The box, the instruction manuals for putting this stupid thing together. There's like 3 of them. They're like volumes. It's literally
Yeah.
it's
I have some
intense.
Lego Technics that's like that, where you've got 2 or 3 different instruction manuals for the one thing.
Oh wow.
And then it's like you can download additional manuals for additional things you can build with this.
He loves his Legos.
I do.
Man,
I have
love-
a
Oh,
Pathfinder rover for like the Mars Pathfinder rover, including the little helicopter
I wish I would have
that
done
I
that
just built
sooner.
over Christmas.
I've been tagging my wife in all the cool like Lego stuff that's been coming through the bot. So, geez. Okay. Well, in that
I've
case,
seen it all. Like
Yeah.
everything you tag her in, I'm like, oh, there's a new post. Oh, it's Lego. Neat.
well, it's because of my oldest. He likes putting together Legos, so we're kind of pushing it out there. Yeah.
When y'all get a chance, check out host chat. And that's the three big boys right now.
Let's see here. Let's take a look at that, and then we'll move on to our next topic. Oh my
So what
goodness,
was
those
that
are
at
beautiful.
the beginning? What was that at the beginning about Lava Chicken? Because I see the title is Chicken Jockey. Is it like a day after like Taco Bell or something?
Oh my goodness. I thought I thought I changed this. That's terrible. No, I like literally changed it and pressed OK. Damn it.
Well, it was even on the background pregame for the show. It still said Lava Chicken.
Well, it's supposed to
So
say
you didn't
lava
even
chicken.
change the title slide.
There you go. No,
There we
I
go.
did.
Lava
It's
chicken.
supposed to be lava chicken, not the other one. That was last week's episode.
Okay.
In fact, I don't even have the right episode on here.
It's
supposed to
Chicken
be
Jockey
96.
2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yay, we're
kinda.
time traveling today.
Woo!
There we go.
Let's
On the
do
fly
it.
title change. So,
Hell yeah.
but on the topic of Roblox and Discord, apparently they're under fire now, and you would be surprised what it's for.
Let me guess.
Child trafficking and
No,
yeah.
you don't say.
Oh,
Not
I have a
child
funny
trafficking,
story
but-
about that. It's a horrible story.
Well, let's hear it. Let's go.
So there's a group for trafficking. There's a group that recently had its founding members arrested, one in the U.S. and one in Greece, and they ran a Discord group that preyed on children. I think the youngest that was in the news was around 12. The oldest was about 17. And the what they did is they manipulated these poor children into self-harm. Sorry, we should have had a warning on this. This is going to be a little bit of self-harm and other horrendous things.
Content warning. Turn back.
Yeah,
now
I should have
if
had that up.
you're
You'll have to put that up on the
content
VOD. I do
warning,
apologize.
Warning.
So here's your
Step on
warning
post
for the
there
rest of
and
the
put it
next like
front.
2-3 minutes when I talk about this. But it was involving self-harm, harm to others, sexual inappropriateness of all kinds of levels, encouraging arson and violence against animals and other people. In Canada, there was actually a girl who was sucked into that and manipulated. She didn't make it, and there was a guy in Manitoba as well who was drawing swastikas everywhere, and that was at the behest of this group. Discord has a significant problem, and they need to work this the fuck out because that is horrendous.
Yeah.
We all know Telegram is a cesspool, but Discord is becoming the next cesspool. And it's got to get fixed. I'm glad they put the founders behind, like they've arrested the founders, but that's what's been publicly known. There are still issues with how many groups have gone undetected doing this crap.
Yeah, no doubt. I said trafficking. I meant grooming, but that's good to get out anyway. So
Same thing almost.
They probably would have, once they built up enough, like, oh, well, maybe we can get away with more. It's like with people doing like petty crime and they slowly build up.
Yep.
They might have gotten to that level if, they hadn't been stopped. It's just the one step further.
There was definite grooming in the allegations against them, especially when the FBI came to knock on that one guy's door in the States. And then Interpol showed up in Greece to arrest the other guy. And the sick part is one of the guys is 17, the other one's like 20. But the age demographic is all under 18 outside of the two founding members. The demographic of that group was all under 18. And the self-harm was one of the biggest things they were promoting. And like one of the things that we're doing is exploiting people into recording it and posting it to Discord.
So we have a name
Horrendous.
for people like those in Greek.
oh, let's hear it.
Shark
The
bait?
fucking Malakas.
That works too. I would go shark bait. I think they should be fed to wood chippers and then fed to sharks.
Yes.
In Minecraft, of course.
They can be chumps.
This particular story on GameDeveloper.com actually comes because they left the child's name anonymous, as they should, as Jane Doe.
Yeah.
And they were talking about because the parents are actually behind a lot of this, trying to like go after Roblox and Discord because they're very aware of the tools that Roblox has available, and there's almost non-existent for Discord because there's no family monitoring or anything like that. But with that, this poor little girl was approached by an adult and was harassing her. I'm saying harassing, but looking to talk to them, and finally got their Discord name after it. And then afterwards, started requesting illicit pics and things like that from a minor that is underage. Well, a minor is underage. Whatever. It's almost like ATM machine. Either way, so that's a thing. I know that both companies, Discord and Roblox, have said that they are vehemently against any of that stuff, and they're providing as much tools as they can. And I don't like defending corporations that don't do a whole lot about this. At least they're trying, I guess. But people will find their ways around it. They were talking about not letting children create accounts if they're under the age of 21 or whatever it is. Even my kids will tell you, they'll just say they're 21. There's no checks.
Yeah.
So, right.
So the only way you can start doing it properly is if Western societies embraced the level of oversight that Central and Eastern Asian countries have. For example, in China and in South Korea, there's a real significant issue with online addiction. So in those locations, you do have to provide government ID when you're making accounts, and your online time is monitored. In China, the content is well, because if you ever want to see Chinese players disconnect from a video game, just mention Tiananmen Square, and they will just DC right away. But not that I should ever suggest you troll people, but they do require government ID so that they can monitor the amount of time you're spending online. And unless Western civilization or countries, not civilizations, countries get used to that, and Western societies get used to that idea of oversight, we're always going to have this issue where people can just make fake accounts.
So can I make a suggestion maybe? Or
Hell
maybe
yeah.
Sure.
if you see someone from China aimbotting or just generally cheating in a video game, just say that, and then instantly that will be the great equalizer.
Yep. It's actually apparently really funny and really sad, because the moment you mention it, they'll get DC'd because the Great Firewall of China says, you can't know about this because nothing happened. Meanwhile, the one photographer who's able to sneak out the roll of film with the guy with the shopping bags in Tiananmen Square right before the massacre, that would, show you other things.
Mm-hmm. And it's on the internet, so it's
Yeah.
been here forever.
Yeah. All
So
right.
this podcast will probably not be featured in China.
Yeah, probably not.
We've been blocked already.
We should probably just like front load all the bad China words up front. But yeah.
I mean, I've already said Tiananmen Square like 3-4 times now. So I mean, Tiananmen Square is a great thing to mention at all times, because there was a thing that happened in Tiananmen Square in the 1980s. I mean, I don't know why they say nothing happened at Tiananmen Square massacre. What?
Luckily, China's not our demographic. Gamers are, so
Exactly.
Okay, so let's push on to the last one and save the best for last. Lava Chicken has
There it is.
hit the Billboard 100.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh no.
And terrifying at the same time.
I said it in Discord, and I'll say it again. The dude just makes the dumbest songs or the dumbest covers and just makes money.
He prints money out of his asshole, and it's really weird.
He
Well,
does.
It started
I'm
with
just
Kung
gonna
Fu
say
Panda.
this.
What's that?
He's just being quite tenacious about it.
Ah!
Except that group doesn't exist anymore because they kicked out one of their bandmates.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
well,
it's just there's no D anymore.
Yeah, they got rid of the D.
So he's just tenacious Jack.
That's it.
That's all right.
Because he started with freaking Kung Fu Panda. He had I know he had a song in that.
Peaches,
Uh,
peaches, peaches, peaches,
Okay.
peaches.
that one.
Okay, I want you to understand that song right there hit 83 on the Billboard 100.
Gross.
Really?
Yes, and Lava Chicken is 78. So Lava Chicken outdid Peaches, and it is a much shorter song. It's literally just like it's literally a jingle
Okay.
for yes.
The only
Chicken.
song about peaches I want to hear is Peaches by the Presidents of the United States of
United
America.
States, yeah.
Hell yes.
I don't.
Millions of
Peaches for
peaches.
free.
Peaches for free. Millions of peaches. Peaches for me.
Peaches for
Yeah,
me.
I did go see the Minecraft movie with the family, and I gotta admit, I was kind of reserved at first. Jason Momoa plays a great idiot. He really does. Like, and that's the same guy who did
Big.
Drago in Game of Thrones. That he was like serious and intimidating. I was like, wow, this guy looks like he's pissed off 24/7.
No, my
So-
boy gives off big himbo.
We also
energy.
did
I love it.
Aquaman, so maybe that was like the beginning of the downfall of his acting career.
But like beyond Jack Black, like he was truly an idiot. But other than that, like it was entertaining. The music was good. Like I even like grooved out to the Lava Chicken song when he started singing. I was like, all right, okay, I can see what's going on here. I understand what Crit Chicken's Lava Chicken was talking about. So yeah, like
Chicken nug.
if you haven't seen it, it's good to see once. That's about it. Wait for it to come out on your favorite streaming service if you don't want to go see it in the theaters. So
Will it come to VHS though?
only if you do it yourself.
Damn.
I know. Speaking of doing
Bring
it
back Blockbuster.
ourselves, it's time for the round table. So, Cajun, what you got
Hi.
going on?
Well, I have finally got to the point where I'm shifting things around at work. I'm doing an every other kind of schedule in terms of how my days land. Instead of my normal every week is Tuesday to Saturday, every other week is going to be Monday through Friday. So I'll get a 3-day weekend every other weekend. So hopefully that's going to start revitalizing me to be able to do other creative things on the side because this week has been like crazy. When you walk into work and you have over 300 specimens waiting for you, you know how the rest of the week is going to go.
Gross.
So yeah, it's just been one of those things. But
Hopefully they weren't all urine samples because that'd be
They were.
that'd be just.
they were.
Oh.
I'm head of
I was
toxicology.
just taking the piss out of everything.
Yes.
Oh, now Crit has to drink. Drink, Crit.
Okay, more
There you
caffeine
go.
for me.
Woo.
One of the
But yeah,
rare occasions I have a bad joke.
No, I'm starting to rub off on you.
yeah, she is.
Not on
But
this
the
podcast.
oh.
Let's see here.
Oh.
Let the dirty laughs begin.
Yep.
It's
But yeah, and then I'm slowly starting to get back into my art as well. I have my tablet set up on my station here, and I've ideas are in the brain and they're circulating like freaking whirlwinds. It's just getting enough energy in the evenings to do so. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, no,
I might have to start drinking a late afternoon coffee or something just to keep me up.
yeah, I'm with you on that. I can't tell you. I've been working later and later every day, so it's been trying. Amy, what you got going on?
Well, last couple weeks I've beat RoboCop, Rogue City, and then I did New Game Plus, and then beat the pants out of it again. The game initially it's all right. It's not the hardest game I've ever played. Even on the hardest difficulty, it's still kind of funny. But once you get to New Game Plus, the game just becomes a complete and total joke. Other than that, I've been throwing Kerbals around space a whole bunch. I'm actually tempted to install the Extra Planets mod, or the Outer Planets mod as it's called, which gives you like 9 or 10 additional planets to go visit, which I think might be fun. But yeah, other than
Yeah.
that, not a whole lot.
Good stuff. Crit, tell us what's going on with you.
Well, I'm still playing WoW.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I missed my barcode, and I started up school.
Oh,
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, it's like learning is exciting, kind of frustrating at times, but yay for expanding your neuroplasticity.
Yay.
yay. Let's see here.
What is the Lumi doing this week?
Trying to keep everything together.
Feel that?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I was telling Crit earlier, or Imi, or not Imi, or Banana Tune. I can't remember who. Oh, it was Serafina. I haven't really had time to do anything else, but I dedicate my Saturday to this because this is one of the few things that I enjoy throughout the week and I look forward to. So, I mean, unless something catastrophic happens, and Imi is actually taken over for me 1 week, which was awesome. Thank you for that. That was my on-call week, so now I have a solution for that.
No worries. Anytime, bud.
So, but yeah, no, it's been pretty turbulent. Other than that, I've been chilling out, playing video games. I've actually been hanging out more with Jalen and his folks. A lot of great folks over there, really. If you ever get a chance to visit Cosmo's World, you absolutely should. He's currently streaming right now, should you decide you want to go there. Twitch.tv/WarbringerJalen. What I'm looking for right now is who we're going to raid next. But that's it. That's episode
Is
90.
Echo streaming?
That he was streaming Honkai Star Rail, and that's who I was looking for.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
offline
he may have
right now,
stopped.
sadly.
Yeah, because he had a sponsored
Ooh.
stream, and I was like, well, we can go over there because we support our friends here, right? I don't really like the gacha games, but I would do it for him.
Oh, yeah. But it appears he's not streaming, so...
Well, let's see
Jalen it
here.
is.
Jalen it is. Yes, I don't see Greedy online either.
Yeah.
Yep, so Jalen it is. Okay, either way, everyone, thank you for stopping by. And if anything, join us next week, episode 97, title to be determined.
What?
Okay, apparently we're all supposed to hydrate and take a drink because
Sip.
the True Black Dragon redeemed a hydrate. So, glug glug, motherfuckers.
Hold on. Let me go get a thing.
And I need more rum and coke.
Ooh. Oh, that sounds good. I'm not gonna make one of those. He's talking back through the void. Come
He
back.
is. It's really funny when he does that. Because it's like, what am I hearing?
It's like that voice in the back of your head.
Echoes of Lumi. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get this lid close up to the microphone. This is, let's see here, 16.9 fluid ounces, or 1.05 pints, or 500 milliliters, depending on what measuring system you want to use, of purified drinking water. Here we go.
That's not nearly as much fun as, 500 milliliters of pure ethanol.
And gone. Okay.
Woo!
So that's it. Thank you very much. We're gonna go find people to raid, go support our friends, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Oh, you guys stay awesome. You guys stay classy and always don't be a dick. Peace.